Before I move on, the homeowners didn't get back to me yet, but what you want to do when you have a space like this is obviously put drywall in there. That's 1/2 inch drywall. This takes up some space. A few of them are shimmed, and then we have screw heads. So the piece that gets put in here is basically going to be as thick as a shim anyway. Sometimes with a drywall, I do a whole new piece from there up and cut all that out. But like I said, when you have a cove like this and we don't want to destroy the ceiling in here or do all this extra work, as you can see, it's going to be real tight to work in that corner up there. So least amount of damage in here, the better. So I usually measure each one by a straight edge. And if it's, 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8, whatever they are, at the stud locations, place that so that when I do either put my trim on, if I do trim, I've got something flat to glue to and it won't rock. I just wanted to mention that. Okay, I ran deck screws into the studs with my spacer, and what that does, it flushes that wall out. And then homeowner wanted to use the PVC. That's what I thought. Instead of using a 3.5 inch board, there'd be a gap on top, a little one. So I got the 1x6 and rip it to fit. And let's place that up there and see how she looks. And these boards are wood grain, which is kind of pretty, but they chose a smooth on all the rest of it in here, so we're trying a smooth side. Let's set it up in there, see how she fits. Lift that end up. I don't want to push it all the way back yet, but that's how she'll look, guys. And I'm going to use some fast grab adhesive and glue that on there, and I'm going to come across this way, and I'm going to try not to use any nails unless necessary. If I do a nail, it'll be a little finish nail, stainless, and I'll just put a little dab of caulk in it, and that's just a piece of dirt. But what do you think, Frank? What you think? Really? And so that's going to be our look, and I think that's going to be better than trying to put a piece of drywall in there that's going to be like 1/4 inch stuff. Not exactly, because we got the hardware holds it out, plus the flange. Then tape it, mud it, tape it, several coats, sand it, and then, well, like I said, we got to paint it on paint we don't have. So you got to try to match colors. It's almost a purple gray. I don't know what color that is. So I'm trying not to do any finishing work. If we can do all this in PVC, I can possibly get this all done today. Okay, now I cut this right side. You see how nice a corner we got. This is sticking out slightly because we're still dealing with this outside corner, and this goes up probably up into here, and I didn't want to damage anything. And what I want to do is either cut the rest of this out that's in the way, which is about 3/8 of an inch, just enough so that would look better. It'd come back to here, and when that happens, then this would go away. So I'm going to either bend that over or cut this out. Trying not to make sparks and a mess, because if I brought a grinder up here, it'd be black on the ceiling, stink like crazy in here. So, and then I got to drill out for the shower head, and then same thing over there. I cut to fit. It looks good, except the outside corner's out just a bit. I could either do that, or I could rip these down on the table saw. I'd prefer to keep this thickness, and on the sides, I could probably nail that into the PVC so there would be no hardware showing. So let's see what happens here. All right, I got the shower head hole cut. I took these side jambs and made a rabbet on the table saw, and then this is actually upside down, and then this is going to go in like this. Should line up pretty close. Like that. And then I'm not sure how I'm going to fasten. I might just glue them, but I want to put a face on here. And I brought them up, but I didn't cut them to length yet. And what I want to do is attach this to the back of that so it's nice and square. Okay, I slid the pieces in. I got that power grab, a lot of it behind it. I got my rabbet piece in like this. I got tape and shims pulling everything tight. And that's the idea, guys. I can go and, you know, like picture frame it. I'm not sure I'm going to want to run across the top or not. I might just leave it. We can add it later, but I'm not sure they want one out there. And I got to do this side now. All right, so I got that on. I got it shimmed. The shims pull it really tight. So this will look pretty good. And like I said, there's no finishing work. If I want to put a little dab of caulk on, I got two types of caulk I'm going to use. One is a white silicone mold resistant 7-year whatever, and then I got some I got 2 or 3 types, but I want to use the one that matches the PVC color, which is slightly off white. And so I'm going to test them on a scrap. I just screwed the spout in. I put that nice thread tape and the pipe dope on, that Pipe Dope Pro, and then here's our scuncheon plate. And see how nice that covers, and see it's up beyond the flange. That was the whole thing I was worried about. So that's going to look good, going to work good. And a little bit of dry time. I might put some painter tape on here to hold everything still, but this fast grab works really well. I don't know if I did tell you what I'm using. Maybe it's the Loctite Power Grab. It's 0 second. I haven't used this one. I'm liking it. It's almost a white in color. A little dab oozed out somewhere. Where? And see, it's the same color as the material, so kind of like that. So I'm hoping homeowners will. Our shower door is in. I got to go pick it up. That's going to be on tomorrow or the next day. I got to get a helper, and I want Dawson to help me. And while I'm on the subject of Dawson, he helped me put the last shower door set in. And they're very heavy. I think the box says 190 pounds. That's a lot. But I want to have some help getting them upstairs and get it in here. Help hold it so I don't scratch a base. The only thing we have to do in here yet is screw the shower head on. I don't want that on yet because I might caulk something. We want to do our water test. Make sure the water temperature is about 120, 115, 120, something in there. You want it hot enough to melt you, but not burn you. And then I got a little bit of adhesive goo. I got to get some goo gone and get them stickers. I got to put stickers on everything. And then wash this unit out. I got to work on the flooring a little bit. A couple boards fell apart from him. I don't know. He's got some short, some missing. There's one by the closet. It's an inch too short. I told him I had to put a new board on. And then this one, that looks pretty bad. I don't know what he did there, but I don't know how much material he's got. See if I can fix that. He didn't say anything on that side. He asked me if I'd fix that one coming apart and that closet for sure, because that whole board is off. And then we're going to make an access panel. And I'm not sure what I want to make it out of. I was thinking of another PVC, because what they used was drywall, and the corners keep chipping, falling off. It was on with drywall screws. So we can do better. I don't know where he placed the base he took off. I'd like to get the base, get that put back on. And then once the base is on there, I know how to make my picture there. We don't need this whole thing open, but because it is open, I'm going to make one that size. And I got a pile of lumber, a pile of sawdust in the driveway, table saw out, scraps all over. So I got a lot of cleanup to do. Like I said, I'm going to come across and caulk any little seam, anything, so they go away. Give it time to dry first, and it's looking good. All right. I want to make an access panel that's going to be a little better looking than the two-piece drywall thing that broke. So I think this was a baseboard that was in front of the tub. Homeowner took some of them out, so I don't remember where they went. But it doesn't matter. That's our height. There's no sense of taking the baseboard off to make a water access. In case you ever want to get in here and turn the pipes off, turn the water off and or replace the faucet. You can replace, the cartridge from inside the shower. But it's easy access, so let's make one. So I'm going to measure from the base to the top. Great big opening here. So we got 42 3/8. See how square or straight it is. 42 3/8. And it's an average of, there's 9 1/8. 9 heavy 1/8. 9 and 9 1/8. So 9 is our smallest number. And I'll show you what I want to make with it. I think if we're going to stay in this PVC, let's stay in the PVC and make it all out of it. So 42, write them numbers down. So I got a PVC board that was 1 by 10. I cut it down to 8 3/4, so it's a little bit smaller than the smallest number. And then the length, I haven't cut it to size. This is 45 1/2. We need 42 3/8. I'll probably do like a 42 1/8. Leave about a 1/4 inch play. Okay, I cut that down to size. It's 3/4 of an inch thick, and I only have the table saw, so that means that I cannot tip it on edge and rip, make this thinner. I'm not going to use a planer for PVC. So the drywall's 1/2 inch. So that means that panel is going to be proud. So that's fine. So what I did is I had some pieces I ran through the saw with a rabbet on it, like that. So what I want to do is make a picture frame like this. And what that would do is leave about 3/8 of an inch sticking into the wall in that panel. So all I have to do now is miter this out, attach this either with glue or however I want to do it here. This glue seems to be working good. I have to line up the bottom flush so they can sit on the baseboard, and then I have to slide my other piece over like this, mark the top, cut it to length, and then miter that. Okay, I mitered these up. So we got our rabbet, our miter. Now we just got to glue things up. Okay, that's what it looks like. I'm going to let this set a few minutes. And this should make a nice panel. Then I got to figure out how I want to hook it. I might use the two low, I don't know, we got studs up through there. I could do 2 to 3 screws per side. Maybe use a button cap. You put the screw through the cap, snap the cover. That way we don't look at an ugly screw like it was. Maybe that'll work. I'll give this a few minutes and then we'll put this in place. I'll go hunt up some hardware. Alright, I'm running out of time today, but these are the little button caps. They didn't have the size I wanted, but I want to set the screw through it and then snap the cover. So I have to pre-drill these, but let's set this over there and see how it's going to work after all this work, right? That didn't take too long. We got almost 30 minutes in it, making a little custom door. So here's our opening. The water's still turned off. I'm going to leave it off while I'm not here. And then you see how this sticks out? Really out of focus here. It sticks out of the back a little bit. That should self-align it for us. We set her up there. And then we slide her in. And then that should work fine. I'm just going to let this adhesive set up. And Let me back up so you can actually see something. So there's our access door, and I'm just gonna set the screws in it, and that should work fine. See the base down there? I might raise it like a 1/16 of an inch, little tiny shim when I screw it on, so it's not like binding on it, because I haven't done the baseboard yet. And let's see, but that'll go against the wall and cover that up, and I think it looks all right. What do you think? It'll be flush with the base, kind of blends in with everything else going on here. And I'm gonna clean up, head out, get the shower door. What else? I've got to put the base on, put the flooring pieces together, adjust the water temperature, put the shower head on, miscellaneous caulking. Not sure if I want a base in front of the shower. They did. It's awful big chunky piece, but I'll ask them. That's actually the one that was in front of the shower. And I'd like to know where the rest of them are. I'll put them all on for them, and then we'll get onto that flooring, and we'll call this job a wrap. I got to get some goof off, goo gone, get the stickers off. They got sticker goo on everything. And then we'll do these button caps. I'll drill them and screw them on. But we better let this adhesive set up before I get crazy with that. Well, before I close this out, I put a base here, there, and that one on. So now it looks more finished. I didn't take the baseboard off. The homeowners put, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. Double-sided tape. And he put it a little bit high on the material. And you see that tore that off when he took it off. I didn't do it, which is great. If it's caulked on, you run a knife on it. But if he had lowered them down a little bit, it probably wouldn't have tore. He might have peeled them out from the bottom. It's a shame, but they got to find some paint to touch that up. In front of the shower, this is a piece that goes there. And I don't know if I want it. I might ask them. What do you think, guys? It won't fit in there because it's a little long. I guess it gives a finished look. It looks a little chunky, a little large. Maybe I could set it in place, cut it and set it in place if it fits. And not glue it, see if they like it. Yeah, it looks terrible. Then I didn't glue it. We could run a bead of caulk. The only thing I always worry about caulk is you got to keep almost a 1/4 inch gap on this laminate type flooring so that you can expand and contract. A caulk would be nice because then it'd be waterproof, you know. They get sloppy. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. Would you throw that chunky board on there or one like it so it matches, or would you just run a bead of caulk? My opinion, you know, the farther away you get from something, you'll be bumping your toes into it all the time, but I don't know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. We'll be caulking shower door, putting that access panel on we made. It might be a couple days. I've got to go get supplies, finish this project up. While I got you on here, I was going to mention earlier, I want to get Dawson to help me. And speaking of Dawson, the reason I don't get in a lot of hours this time of year is because he's in the school bowling team and he's in the USBC league bowling, and that's where he got his 300 at. And during practice, he got a 299, and you know, pretty proud of him. But his team, the school team, came in #1 on the MAC division, so they're going to be going to sectionals and states and the whole deal. So pretty excited for him, and you know, like to see him post more on his channel too. So check him out at Dawson Robinson on YouTube. He's got some cool projects. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon, guys.